Ooh, what a deal. Yeah, I have one straight. Hey guys. My hat is so stinking crooked, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the camera crooked. Who knows? Who knows? Well, this gives me a breather. Uh, hey, William. Did you get that bag, William, already? Uh, Glad you did if you got it. Trapper Dan, hey, man. Boy, I was running behind today, was I didn't know if I'd get this show off or not, man. She's still running up getting me some supplies. I'm still loading the car. Uh, you guys going to head out to Midwest Woodcraft tomorrow, early tomorrow morning. I'll be there for 3 days. I talked to Kevin Johnson. I put on a little bitty trapping class Friday night, I guess. Just talking about that. I'm just bringing some good snares. And we'll have a good time, man. I finally got some time freed up and just, crazy. I said, I've known Kevin Johnson, a couple events I've been to at Campcraft Outdoors. Uh, I'm not loaded. Man, you better hurry up. I've been piddling with it all day and in between videos and the multi bags guys are selling like crazy. I it just I thought we would kind of dry up the market. I hate to say that, but you have so many sales and I put them back out and bang, it's taken off again. So I will be having the multi bags at the show. I'm going to bring out my uh, bacon flippers and uh, it's my spit, my squirrel cookers. I'll have them with me. I'll have some Lux Skinner knives if you're out there, but it's going to be a pretty good show, I'd say. So I'll have a little bit out there. But yeah, I got your bag, Dan. I mean, your bag's with me. Sweet. Did you like it, William? I hope you liked it. I mean, I like it. I'm enjoying mine. I took my old one. My old one's still on the haversack, and I've been running a new one. I don't care for the white material, but it works better than the heavier canvas. And so I put mine in tea bags and just let it sit there overnight, and just kind of dawed it down. I got it packed up or I had it out there, but it's just enough to take the white off. But the little hole we put in there, it's really simple what we did to it, but man, does it work. It just hangs at an angle. It just does better than that. Not tomorrow. Oh, I don't care. I don't care, Dan. It don't matter. Uh, you didn't tell me not to say nothing. Yeah, you can use Stanley Kid in there. If that's what you're talking about. Uh, we didn't realize it fits the whole Stanley Cook set. Blackie's got a video on that, and there was a guy. We believe I never seen his channel. Blackie linked me to it. He did a review on that bag. I believe it's in Australia, and did a great review. And that's with the brown canvas we was running. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Uh, so it's I kind of we've been doing a lot of experiments, and like I said, you guys who got them come back, we got feedback and said, hey man, can you do that? Can you do this? And there's a lot of talk to it. We had some simple changes, and it's got to do with the material. Uh, they soak up faster and they dry faster. That's when if you didn't get that bag fully dry, and it's not a deal breaker, dude. I'm just being picky. But when if you fold it up wet, that wax canvas was holding the moisture. Found out on my old ones. We get in a hurry and we forget about our gear. So we went on cotton canvas. So yeah, I shot the video on it, man. It's a good bag. I like it. I just couldn't believe how fast they're selling. Uh-oh. Hey, Gary, how you doing, man? This is good evening. Just getting over to Seaward. Hate to hear that, dude. Get your zinc and stuff, man. Get your vitamin C in you, man. Get you healthy again, Gary. You know, take care. We gotta keep you going, man. But yeah. So I mean, I've been bouncing back and forth with shipping bags, and I'm going to be gone. You guys passed word. You know, we're going to be gone for 3 days. So we'll, I'll get back to sending bags out come Monday. So other than that, I mean, can't wait. But I'm packing, and I keep trying to thin my gear out, and that's hard to do, guys. You guys have that same problem when we're going camping. I mean, it's like, do I need that? I got stuff in my bucket I ain't touched in the last 3 hours. So I said, man, it's going out of here. If I get out there, I'm going to be mad if I need it. So I'm trying to, man, it's really hard to cut, especially because teaching classes is one thing, but I love my flint and steel stuff, so I don't want to leave it there. I'm bringing my kukri. I always have a kukri with me now. And it's just, when we rode motorcycles, we could pack that bike with nothing. And man, today, hey, Hiram, I'm taking a little bit more because I take a table, and all the one-wear gear will be there. Guys, if you ever want to see a one-wind hammock, all the gear, I'll have a majority of it there. Love it. Actually, I got another one coming. Don't say no about it. It's their new model. I'll be happy about that. So, I've talked to her. The other note, why I'm kind of looking a little different and up at an angle, I got a new camera. I'm not using my phone as a camera, so hopefully we won't be blanking out like that. My brother found this on sale. This is about a $100 webcam. That's the webcam he runs. Love it. It was great. Best Buy had it on sale for $30, and man, he got mad. He just paid 3 months ago $100 for his. So he said, man, I'm going to buy you one anyway and ship it to you. So everybody give my brother thanks, man, for finding a deal on a new webcam. And it's a lighted webcam. We're still playing. But now, hopefully, my phone would freeze up and mess around. We don't have to use it. So that's good, man. My brother is the computer guy. He's the geek of the family. And without him, man, none of this. He begged me for 6 months to get on StreamYard. Whatever. It's just another platform. I'll tell you about StreamYard. I know we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. StreamYard I'm through YouTube. I can do Facebook. If you do both, you got to pay for it. It's like $12 a month. But guys, with you guys, all the comments I'm getting, the good shows, I have Blackie on here, it really helps monetize my channel. I hit 1,800 subs. I was going to do a 500 giveaway. I was going to do a 1,000 giveaway. With the sea stuff going on out there, my steel shut down. Everything went crazy. So I promise, when we have a 2,000 view, 2,000 subscriber on my channel, I am going to give away some nice stuff. There's going to be a Lutz Skinner, a multi-bag, a squirrel cooker, and whatever else I can think of. I get Blackie donates some stuff. And we're going to, and I'm going to have a big giveaway. And that's because, of you guys. And I need the subscribers. So, but I'm still out, man. What did I just say? I'm at 1,800. I got 200 more subs. I'll have to give away. So kind of give you a sneak preview on that one. What else is going on? Packing. Running here. Where did I do that? Why did I put it there? Trying to make sure I take everything I need. Last week, man, we had a great show. It was about, the survival guns, and it was a really good show. I got feedback on there, and guys, if I missed your comments, man, I just been kind of really busy. I do read them. Sometimes I don't respond to all of them. I just can't, If you got a really bad question or something like that, hit me up. But this week just been crazy. Dan's been out there pestering me to come out there to Midwest Woodcraft. I did not plan on this show because I had so much here with the house and fixing the house. And, we put 40 foot of gray water line in. Me and my wife did by ourselves. So it's been a long couple of weeks, but it freed up enough time. We got caught up, so I'm headed out that way. It's gonna be a good time. Uh, Tonight's topic, I just kind of wanted to get into, since we did the guns and the ammo and what quality is is just kind of survival knives, man. You know, and so we got to set some criteria up because this is the hardest thing for me to do is pin myself down. We're talking survival knives. We're not talking skinning knives and whatever. We're talking what you would take. You get one knife, same scenario as last week. You got to hike into Alaska. We're not talking axes and kukris and stuff like that. Well, I'll take it back. We're not talking axes and saws yet. The one knife that you can take, and you can only take one. And I know I wouldn't do that. I'd have multiple knives with me. But I'm trying to pin you down on one knife. And this is tough, guys. This thing is tough because I own a lot of knives and I love all my knives. So you guys comment on, you get one shot at this. And this totally sucks for me because I carry 4 knives on me pretty much every day, 3 to 4, and they all have their different uses. So I want to see you guys' comments, man. I know y'all out there thinking I can see the smoke coming off the comments. Because that ain't right, man. I want to carry 3. I want to carry 4. I need a skinning knife and a butcher knife and and a bushcraft knife, and it's tough, man. That is a tough deal. Yeah, but that's fun, man. So you guys hit me up. What you got? I mean, guys, I didn't set up a big show this week because I was going crazy, man, trying to get everything done. I go for a long time, and then stuff starts hurting. I got to sit down, do it again. And William's first one to pipe up there, man. It would be a K-bar. Not a bad knife, man. That's an actual, if you read the history of the K-bar, it's got an interesting history to it. And it was designed for a fighting knife. Not technically a bushcraft knife, but there's no criteria on this, guys. So don't get me wrong. It's not, we ain't talking bushcraft. It's what you would run. What's your favorite thing? You get one shot at it. And the K-bar has got a history behind it, man. I run K-bar. I run K-bar for years. Wasn't a bad skinning knife for as big as it was, Well, Pam piped in there. Walker's taking his custom from WC Knives. Which one, Pam? Back up. SAK Huntsman. Good choice. I like that knife. Come on, Gary. I know you're out there. Dan, you ain't piped up on your favorite knife yet, man. It's tough, buddy. I own a lot of WC knives, and I like a lot of them. And it's a tough one. We're talking, you're going to live with it for 1 year. You've got skinning to do. You've got your camp chores you got to do, slicing up roots and, making your medicines, making your stuff, your food, if you're going to eat dandelions, whatever, I put mine through the ringer and it's still working good. It will, man. William, I've seen K-bars probably 30, 40 years old, and they just been beat to death, and they still hold a good edge. I've seen the handle start to come apart on them, and the guys still have it. I mean, I'd have to look up when the year of the K-bar was invented, but this goes way back. Ooh, Steve W, WCSK. Hey, Steve, how you doing, bro? I don't know, a lot of you guys on the channel know that me and Blackie had the honor to work on the WCSK. I did a ton of testing, worked on a lot of design with that. I was pretty proud of it. I think it's hit 4 magazines yet. It's a great knife, man. Catching up now. Bringing an early master woodsman, slightly center Scandi with a longer sweep spot. There you go. It's an early master woodsman. WC Alaskan. Huh. Well, I'll hire 'em. That's pretty cool, man. That's one WC knife I never got to play with. They had them at the blade show. William did when he was down there, and I didn't get to play with it, so I can't get a good comment. But I pretty much know it's a WC knife. It's going to work. You know. She asked to hand cold steel SRK and SRKC. Don't know what the SRKC is. William Cruz, mine is 290 years old or 29 years old. 20 years old. Got big fingers, William, like me, man. Yeah, the K-bars has got their reputation behind them. There's guys swear by them, especially Vietnam vets, World War I, World War II. Killer. Oh, Dan piped in there. WCSK on the Rat 4. Rat 4. I used to have some Rat knives. They were good knives. I had the SE6. I really loved the handle. It was just wasn't my best skinning knife. It was too long. I wish they'd have put the on the SE6, put the SE6 handle with an XE5 blade. I think it'd have been good. I'm bringing the tactical SK from William Collins. That one's tested the same with the military guys. I haven't messed with that one either, Pam. Rat 4 before I changed names to SE. Yeah, Rat was actually, they had a big breakup and everything. And I think Rat's still out there, ain't it, Dan? And Essie? I know Essie is. Says SRKC is a 5-inch version. Okay, I didn't catch that, man. SRK makes wonderful blades, man. I've handled them. I don't know if I've owned one. I know my buddy did. Between both of us, he'd buy something, we'd play with, trade it, share it, run it. There's a story behind it more. It's a pretty good story, but I'll shoot the video on that one. We talked last week about all this stuff about, what people run and the differences, and you can see the differences right here. Right now, as I stand, and I'll tell you where, all right, Pam, right now is, because I am technically in training from Black and Thomas, so I would run the kukri like I'm running. It's a Nepal kukri. It's a $70 blade. It's when Blackie was up here visiting this summer, he waylaid that thing through a log to make sure it wouldn't fail. And I mean, we beat the tar out of it. But the kukri is a large knife. And you guys heard me say on my videos, I don't care for a large knife. That thing's in between an axe and whatever. I don't know. It's taken me a while to understand it, and getting used to it. I've been preparing small stuff, feather sticks, just everyday use. I actually have to leave my knives at home and take that to force me to use that knife. And the thing is it does have a lot of options. So right now, I'm going to say the kukri. But if you guys notice what's laying here on the table, if I get to see that, look at that big stain on there, Pam. She's at dinner. She can't see that. This is my working WCSK. Okay. This is the one I usually carry. It is getting patinaed up like I like it. This is the 149. You can read that. It's actually got like a flawed stamp in it. And it's kind of a weird story how I got this, but I got this because I got in trouble with using the 03 knife. The 03 knife, I did a ton of testing with that knife, and the value's climbing on it because the serial number on it. So I was told by William Collins to put it away. And so sent me another one that I can beat up and test. So that's why I'm fortunate enough. I have another prototype of this knife. It's kind of weird. You can see where it comes from. But if I had this knife, could I come home with it? Yeah, that's the operator. That's not the tool. That's the operator. I skin with the '03 knife. I skinned out 2 coons with it to see how it did. Was it my best skinning knife? Absolutely not. You can't claim that. But it did the job. And the problem with skinning is everybody thinks, and I got some comments on the video about, more knives, and I made a comment about more knives and the scanty grind. It's not about the more knife, it's about the scanty grind. And scanties just don't cut flesh with it. And a guy made a comment, well, man, over in Switzerland, they carve up all their deer with more knives. And that's not a true statement because Victorinox is over there and they make all kinds of butcher knives. Number one butcher knife out there is a Victorinox. Every butcher shop I've ever been to is all running white handle Victorinox. Why ain't they running this? Because it won't work for them. They got to get stuff done. They're making money at this. Can they do it with it? Yes, they can do it. You can do anything with it. But because I'm a trapper, skinning, most people, let's say the average deer hunter, rabbit hunter, turkey hunter, whatever, they go out, they use, well, not turkeys, but you skin it out and they throw the hide on the ground. It's a byproduct. It's trash. On the average hunter, probably in Ohio, I can't believe how many hides I find and big chunks of meat and the bones out in the woods where they backed in there and dumped them off. Because of trapping for 40 plus years, 45 years, I don't mind nicking the meat. I want to nick the meat over the hide. So the hide is valuable. Is a hide valuable in a survival situation? Absolutely, man. Bedding, clothing, trade value. There's just, you can make rawhide, you can make glue out of it. You can use it as attractants. You put a tail for a bobcat, let the tail of the coon blow in the wind. He's going to see it. I mean, but if you skin it and if you don't pull more than this is dangerous for trappers doing this. We do it, we pull and touch. But when you see a guy who skinned a deer and you see a bunch of slices in that hide where he's taking his knife and he's skinning the whole deer out with this knife instead of pulling it, I can't help it. I'm trained to protect the hide and don't worry about the meat. Meat processors will pull the hide off. Who cares about the hide? I'm going to get $2 or $10 for it. And he just don't want to make the meat, because it's the presentation of the tenderloin and stuff. So it goes both ways. But with this knife, because it does have the tonneau tip, and you can hear the stories in the videos. I did not like this. We worked on it, and it does get under the skin and pierce. I had my second back surgery, and that was the only time my wife actually held a coon and let me skin it. I couldn't, my back wouldn't allow me. But I did skin the coon. I did choke up on the handle like this and got the hide off. I couldn't pull on it, so I was doing more knife work on that situation. But it will skin. So it will skin, but it ain't my finest skinner. Everybody knows that's a skinner. There's your reason. You can see a whole different ballgame here. But if I didn't have my kukri, and this is on my side, and I'm in the middle of Alaska, there's probably pretty much nothing I couldn't do with it. Is it a fillet knife? No. It's just under 3/16, I think. Maybe 3/16, I can't remember. But so that's my choice, guys. This thing's been tested, beat it through car doors, watched the videos. I've made more daggone feather sticks and choppers and beat this thing. I hate to tell you guys, I was the first one ever to break one of these. It made me sick to my stomach for almost 2 weeks. And I was told directly to beat it like nobody else. I've never done that to a knife in my life. And I fatigued it so bad going through an elm stump. Elm is tough as, and I took an end of a ball bat to it. And I had it fail. I had it snapped in half. But that was good. We got to look at the steel. We got to see the weak spot. We adjusted stuff for that and made the knife stronger. So that's why my confidence is so high. Me and Blackie and William probably had about 3.5, 4 months involved in this now of testing feedback, send it back, get it back, put it back, check it again, check the retention. I sliced, I don't know how many inner tubes to check the edge retention. This knife is an 01. All the newer ones are ABL, and now I can't even get ABL from. So, you guys got any questions? I mean, on that knife, it's a when people see that, there's no way I can sharpen that. Yeah, it's got the same grind, same angle, 11.5 degrees from here up to here. It just same thing, man. I know it looks intimidating to sharpen. I can get this thing hair popping sharp. What I don't do with this knife is have it hair popping sharp because I'm going to use this in the woods. A lot of wood, a lot of camp chores. If you find a can of beans and you don't have a can open, I don't risk nothing about worrying about this knife opening up a can. I opened up a corridor with it. And I got some controversy on opening a corridor because they didn't get the point. It was easy to take the butt of that knife and bust out the glass of the window. But in an off-grid situation, you found the abandoned car and all the glass is good in it. You know what I'm saying? Why do I want to knock out a glass, especially if it's raining or snowing? I'm trying to do that. I can regulate with the window crank, but then I have to cover the hole up if I knock the glass out. So I put it through the side door handle, cut down, beat the crap out, knife, boom. If I can reach in and open the lock and get in. I cut the battery cables out with that knife. I cut a ton of stuff out of this knife. Seat upholstery, the phone. I cut that out. It was edited out of the video, but it was my son-in-law's car. So, he said, do what you want to do with it. So, it's anything goes. Hey, man, my go-to wood product knife would be an Ontario SP1 Marine fighting knife. I've carried the last 2 decades and never let me down. Processing game was an Oaknell number 8. I love an Oaknell. I got a number 10 on me, brother. I love an Oaknell. It's a slicing fool. I've skinned deer with an Oaknell. There ain't no doubt about it. I've gutted them. I went right through the rib cage with an Oaknell. But we were talking, one knife. I know you jumped in probably late, but, one knife. It's so hard to pin me down on that because, like I said, I kind of give this some thought off and on through the week, what was going to follow through from last week. But, that's why I have my SK out. But like I said, I'm under the kukri. The kukri is a wonderful knife now. It's got a lot of features. I don't know if you guys know, the first time I ever met Black was a Pathfinder gatherer. I looked dead at him. He was carrying his kukri. In fact, right up there's one of his, he was carrying the Master Woodsman prototype and a condor. I've got his condor right here. I looked dead at his face and said, man, I don't see the net worth of a kukri in the Eastern Wood. Now, the story goes, he run over and pushed Dave Canberry down, stole the log. He said he didn't push him out of the way, but I swear I seen him do it. And he come back in there, and we had a long discussion kukri. And that's another reason. But, man, I just didn't see it. But the more I got around Blackie, I thought, man, because Blackie lives down in Alabama. That's like half jungle down there. All the different trees and brush he's got. And we've got a lot of hardwoods up here. But me and Blackie sat on the river this year. I got to get time to get all that video together. Sorry, I just read Anthony Ghost. How'd I get down to one knife? My plans must have gone to crap. You ain't lying, brother. Because you got here late. You got to be here on time or anything. But when you get around a guy who has used a tool for as long as Blackie Tom says, he needs to write a book on just the kukri because he shows you the subtleties of this huge knife. And to me, it's too big. I don't need it. I carry an axe, whatever. And when you get around a guy like that, it's amazing to see the finesse of a kukri. And could Blackie clean a bluegill that big? Yeah, I can. It was awkward the first couple times on kukri. They're goofy. But you stick them in logs and you pull stuff to them instead of you pushing like we pushed with this knife. You just take a kukri and stab at the log, and then you can feather stick. And you've got to learn about it. It's got a learning curve with the kukri. And I wasn't dead against it. I just didn't see the net worth of it. And then I got fortunate enough to hang around Blackie. We're pretty good friends now. And just to, I mean, he's a mentor for me on his knowledge of the woods, you know. But when you can get him pinned down and really get his kukri out and getting it fired up, and you can watch that guy what he can do with a kukri. So yes, right now I have to say I'm running my kukri. Kukri is already a star. Well, it has been because it's on a lot of continents and it's been around a long time. Things that you look at the history, say the K-bar. When you look at the history of the knives, the appeal has held. If the K-bar was designed and didn't work, do you think it would still be in production today? I don't think so. Same with the kukri. It had been modified or changed. In fact, you see all kinds of modifications when you get around the equator. They look like kukris, but they have different types. You know, they thin them down, they stretch them out, they turn them into machetes, or not turn them into a machete, but you can see the kind of similarities to all the general knives down there. And that's why, if the knife hasn't been around, the parang has been around forever. The kukri's been around forever. And the only reason that is because that's a tool that works. Tools that don't work never had any longevity. So I got to keep my mind open. I've got a video I'm putting together. I thought I'd get it done today. I couldn't get it together. There's a story, or I talk about Joe Flower's knife. It's about the pterosaur. I shot a video on the pterosaur. In that video, I admit that I would not give Condor the time of day. And that's a bad way to be, because I thought Condor, third world country, might as well be Pakistan junk. I looked at a couple of them. I looked at the leather. Man, the leather was great. The sheaths are nice. Mike Denny was carrying it. Mike Denny said, man, try that. Man, it's got good feel. I like the handle on it. And like I said, right there's Blackie. Got a big handle for it. I wasn't expecting that because what you see on the internet. And I was like, man, it's a Bushcraft knife, drop point knife, steel's going to be garbage. I'm sorry, guys. There's no sense in lying about it. That was my opinion. I wasn't going to risk my life with a $50 knife. And boy, I got to change my mind on daggone Condor, especially on that. Right now, I ain't tested Blackies, but on that pterosaur. It's going to be a good video. You need to watch it. I was just shocked at how good Condor's was for a affordable price. Ontario Latin machete will drop trees if you have the energy to put behind it. Tried and true by U.S. troops. You ain't kidding, man. There's another one that's seen longevity. I'm not a trooper. No U.S. troops. And so does your knife vary on latitude? You know, yeah, I watch some of these third world videos on YouTube. There's no talking. And you can tell they're Vietnamese or something like that. And they're carrying these long machetes and they're catching fish this big. They're making traps all out of one knife. And if you watch what they do to that knife, it's kind of crazy because they throw it on the ground. They throw that knife on the ground just like it's any other tool. Even though they're young. These people are so proficient with the longer machetes or parangs. They're very efficient. But if I was shooting videos and I was in the swamp camp and I threw my SK on the ground, I would get some flack on YouTube about it. If I stuck it in the ground, I'd get a lot of flack. But you watch these guys with kukris or the machete, they throw them on the ground, they pick them up, they carry them. Most of them don't have a sheath. They shove it in their belt or they just carry it with them. But watch the detail on some small traps, how they're making small traps with this, 24-inch knife. Uh, yeah, the Latin machete can dig, chop, slice, dice, and cut a tin can, etc. And why has it been around? Because it works for them. I was kind of amazed because they're a smaller stature person and they're carrying a longer knife. And if I was carrying the same machete in the same size, my machete would be 4 feet long because of my size. And wheeling through the jungle, walking barefoot, and feeding yourself and digging holes with your machetes and doing everything. Uh, you know, does that knife? That's why I was in question. Does that knife work in the eastern woodland? You know, the northeast woodland. Would you be happy taking that to Alaska or northern Canada, Yukon? Would you be happy with a machete? Well, you're going to cut down some of them trees. Them trees is hard, you know, and that's why I see a lot of videos that we're going to compare this knife to that knife. Well, sometimes you can't because that knife will work in a different area better than this one due to the material you're using to chop. And so I try not to dog no knives. I just got caught with the condor keeping my blinders on. I need to keep my open on everything because guys are out there, man. This knife's going to set you back a chunk of money. You buy the sheath with that. Well, if you're 16, 15, 14 years old trying to get in the bushcraft community, trying to get your knife skills up, you know, unless your mom and dad's got serious money, you know, the average person ain't going to drop, you know, $300 to get into a knife. So Condor or Mora, you know, they're going to get you an affordable knife that get your knife skills up. So a lot of the machetes are, as you can see, thinner. The nice guess I made, I'll tear machetes that will be trusted and tear up anywhere on the globe. I have one in Ontario, and it's actually they discontinued my machete. It's 1/4 inch thick. It's a beast. Uh, it's it's considered they call it the machete or a machete, but it's actually like a huge overgrown kukri. I took it in on trade. They discontinued it. My buddy had it on his 4 wheeler for years and years and years. It got rusted, pitted. He didn't take care of it. It's got some rubberized handle on it that just kind of seen better days. But I mean, he used it to hack through limbs, get your 4 wheeler. It's a nice knife. Ontario, nothing wrong with Ontario. Uh, Good knife. Take it anywhere. Uh, that's what we're talking about. You know, geography. You guys all live different places. You know, and you guys all got different woods, hardwoods, softwoods. When you get over to the Scandinavian countries, you know, the Moor knives, the Victor knives, when you see the Moor knives, uh, they they didn't have the hardwoods we have. I guess their hardest wood is equivalent to some of our softwoods over here, our harder softwoods. And so that's a good knife for carving and doing stuff like that, you know. But when I started messing with the Brooks axes, and man, you come over here, I had a piece of ironwood we have up there, it's dry. I was just cutting it up. We were actually just cutting up brush and packing a hole. There's some things changed on the deer patterns, and we were just packing a hole, keep deer from coming through there. And I looked down, and that Brooks edge was rolled over. I looked at that log about that big around, wouldn't even crack it. I said, oh man, I didn't do that. That's ironwood laying there. And I can't remember the proper name of the tree. It was dried. It's like hitting a piece of steel with it. You know, guys, if you ever want to build a good hot fire, ironwood, man, that's what we look for. It looks like black. It's usually split in half. You can hear it. It's heavy, dense wood. Once it's dried and dead, you can build a fire like all night. That's a cold burning fire. So, you know, and I found out that the Brooks ain't nowhere near as good as my Sega Chemical, only because of the heat treatment of steel involved. I love my Brooks axe. I love it. It was a gift to me. But there you go. So they're not all equal. The knives are not equal. I know I kind of slipped up to talk about axes. But what other knives? Okay, we said one knife at the beginning of the show, and that was I'm going after your survival knife. Trying to pin you guys down, but one survival knife. And we got some good answers. But now we're going to back this knife up. Like you already said that, it's backing it up as an open L. You know, an open L would be a good choice to back this up. I run you guys seen this not too long ago, and I want you to look at it because I ain't got busy with it, and I actually forgot about it. And my open L was down in the pit, cutting plastic pipe, cutting all that nasty plastic pipe out of there, and we could put sewer drain in there. My wife took my open L, put it in the back of my buggy, and I never put it back in there. Okay, she was down in the hole, staying about ankle deep of nasty mud, cutting plastic pipe with me, trying to get all this blockage out, right? And that's how she stayed. Pam's gonna flip her lid, man. So, guys, if you don't think I use a knife, I use it. You can see the mud in this knife, and she put it back in my sheath, and I forgot about it until today, and I pulled it out to use it. I was like, well, I missed that one, didn't I? And that's mud. Do I use my knives? Yeah, man. There's times that I want to stick my open L down in a ditch filled full of plastic, 4-inch plastic pipe filled with whatever nasty crap and cut it and cut that pipe with it. No, I did not want to. There's rocks and mud and everything. But there's times that you're going to do stuff that you ain't supposed to do. And I love my open L. This thing has seen, carried this since '09, guys. My daughter bought me this for Christmas in '09. So it's seen some action. So yeah, I seen that. I pulled it out of my sheath, put it on. I thought, I'm going to kill my lady. She never even wiped it off. She threw it in there. And then I said, you threw that knife? Well, I just put it up. I thought you did it. Well, it sat in the buggy. I noticed where it wasn't. It's a long story, man. Do we abuse our knives when we have to? Is that abuse? I don't know. I think it's use. I think I needed a tool, a razor sharp tool to cut through that plastic. And now you got your hands underwater in mud. If you got a dull knife, that's a dangerous situation. I knew to take that knife, hand it to my wife, and it go right through that plastic, and it did. So do we treat our knives bad? Yes. I try to take care of my knives. But I'm willing to admit it. You know, things like that happen. I mean, I ain't got left behind. You better listen to it. It's pretty dry. I don't know if you can hear it. William says, oh, yeah, we do. I mean, if you look at old timers' knives, you'll see that this thing starts curving like a Lex Skinner because the guy's been hammering the steel too long. Hi, baby. She's coming up from seeing me. And, you know, the guys butchered hogs with a knife. Blood is very caustic on, 1095 steel. It'll make it rust like crazy. These guys use these knives for years and years and years. In fact, we had a comment, like I've had some comments on my Lex Skinner says it looks like a wore out butcher knife. And technically it does. But I put them curves in there because of growing up to make it a better slicer, especially on lifting the skin and separate. So it kind of resembles that. But how come the guys didn't throw away their knives? If you go to flea markets, find these old butcher knives that wore out. I love finding them for 50 cents. But why do they keep them around? Why didn't they pitch them and get a new one? Because they got that knife working the sweet spot. It's going to work good. They didn't want to give them up. Kind of like it's over anyway. I beat my fighting knives like that. It slept with my wife, the open L. I tried a baby. I added thumb studs to it for a one-hand opener. Sweet. Fighting knife's a different tool, man. That's another different animal right there, man. But I can't stress it. I love the guy that says 1-2 option. 1-2 option. Do everything that's not. Well, how many out there vote for the 1-2 option? Can I get by if this was on the belt, standing there naked, no clothes on, that's all I had? Yeah. Do I want to? No. does the 1-2 option exist? No. I'd rather have multiple knives for multiple things. Very hard to dig out a small splinter out of your eyeball, though, side of your eye and draw it. Very, very hard to do. That's when my pocket knives come in. You see guys on a loan show eating a mouse. That would be a tough knife to skin the mouse with. I wouldn't eat no mouse, no. Dang, one knife and naked. Only way I think you could find that out if you fell out of the plane and they throwed your knife out and somehow you survived because all your clothes were ripped off of you. I don't get naked in the fray, guys. Talk to contestants down there at Blade Show. They're good people. I just don't understand why they got to be naked. And how did they get naked to get in that situation? Well, open mind. That's a good question, Open. I love these questions. Dan, what would be the 3 tools that you would take to the woods? In my neck of the woods. I'm not going to the jungle. I know what I'm doing, where I'm at, the northern woods. The 3 tools that I would probably actually have is I've been carrying a daggone silky saw big boy. That would be number 1. Number 2 would be probably, man, that's a tough one. I know I'm going to take the saw. That's a gimme. I would love to take my axe. And if I only had 3 tools, and here you go, pinning me down when I carry four with me, it would have to be my multi-tool. And it's only because if I could find any trash. We watch the Alone show, we watch these survival shows. At the beginning, they wouldn't have used nothing like that, but there's trash all over the world. And the metal trash, this tool would be invaluable. Can I skin a bull up with this? Absolutely. Do I want to? No. But or taking a piece of tin or a bottle to make a fish hook, to make trap triggers, to do stuff like this, I think, man, this thing is with me every day. It's been with me for, you can see it. It's it's made by Victorinox. I'm getting a lot of glare here because the light on that. You can see the paint's almost gone on this. This is a Victorinox multi-tool. I just think this tool with an axe and a saw would probably be, it would get almost luxury, especially with the saw. Because saw will build a shelter factor. An axe, it's safer than an axe out there, but an axe is also pounding spikes, dispatch tool we don't talk a lot about. When you get a swing on a black bear, it'd be a bad day on the black bear. You follow me? So it's really hard to pin down. I mean, I watch a Lone show enough and understand the show. They give you 10 items. So it would, that would be my thing. I mean, you put me on the spot and I had to think fast, but I didn't go after the big knife. I went after the bigger tools for the shelter building and the multi-tool. The multi-tool I see fixing glasses, if you find any wire, I don't understand in fact, my kid's out in the garage and he's getting ready loaded. If you see inside my pack, the only other person I've seen done that was, I carry a ton of wire with me and nails. George Washington Sears says nails are not cheating. The nail can be forged in a lot of things. The wire, I run 16 penny nails, probably about 10 of them, and a bundle of wire wrapper. The wire should be one of the number 1 bushcraft tools on the 10 C's, and you don't hear. You don't hear about that. But man, wire can fix your car, all kinds of traps. It's like the daggone, paracord. It's almost, the uses are endless on that. So that's where I'm at, man. So good question, man. Anything goes. Yep, Victorinox makes some sharp multi tools. This thing's got a heck of a blade on it. And believe it or not, very, very rarely do I use the blade on this knife. I use my other knives for that, so I've always got this knife razor sharp, because I very rarely use it. I use the pliers on it. I use the screwdrivers on it. Stuff like that. I use the cutters, and if I want to show you my cutters, I think I did that a couple of weeks ago, cutting number 9 wire track. 9 wire is way too heavy for this thing. But I was working it, and the teeth, the cutters, I've hurt the cutters. But it's they still cut. That thing will cut a quarter right now. Has Victorinox simple tool ended up in love with the Leatherman Surge? Man, I'm a Victorinox fan. I've had one Leatherman and broke it. I've had one sawed and broke it twice. My buddy was carrying that Victorinox. I said, let me see it. What turned me on to the Victorinox is I could get to the blades without opening up, and yes, it's got mud on. I could get to the blades without opening it all the way up and opening it up and getting the handles and closed. But it's got a good grip on it. It's a square, heavy grip, and I can get the pliers to go twist that wire, Leatherman's come a long way. I haven't owned one because I've owned this thing for 15 plus years, I would say. So I can't judge the Leatherman today. I'm sure they're good, but my grip strength was so strong, I broke it, cracking on the pliers, pop, and sent it back, got a new one, got rid of it. And my buddy was running that Victorinox, and these run about $100, guys. These ain't really that cheap. But if you like Swiss knives, it's a Swiss knife. The Leatherman Wave, William, I haven't played. I've seen it, and I haven't messed with it. Same with the Leatherman Surge. We get stuck on what works, and but you got to. I love your name. Keep open mind, dude. You got to keep an open mind on everything. And before, I've seen pictures, and I just explained myself. I got caught, looking at an El Salvador knife and didn't give it a chance. And so when I had problems with the Leatherman, I haven't looked at the new models. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm sure they're good. Wire doesn't start with C. You can't fool us. Well, I don't know, but that should be part of your kits, guys. I'm telling you, man. The wire is very important to me because I'm a trapper. I know how valuable it is. I've got spools of wire. I carry spools of wire in my truck. We use wire for everything. It's really, truly the woodsman's zip tie, I guess you're going to call it. Okay, Dan, give us your 10 items. Oh, no, here we go, man. On your next live show. That would be a good topic over mine. We might do that. We might go. I'd have to drag out all my 10Cs. I can't do it right now. I'm loading them up in the car. I will have my 10Cs with me there. That'll be a good job. I'm trying to get in contact with the guy right now. I'd like to have him on a guest on the show on that. But yeah, I could bring Blackie back or Mike Denny or somebody to help us out on the 10Cs, because I do like to see the differences, what we're carrying and why we're carrying, and the quality of tools. We talked about, Morris Pohanski made a very good comment. It said, the more you know, the less you carry. And I would like to add that. Willie Collins has actually made a good statement on it. The more you know, the less you carry, but the better the tools you carry. The quality of the tools become better. If you're like me, there's a whole shelf of gadget crap that I buy and try it, and it's junk, and it didn't work out. And I think the older you get, come with age, is you want a couple knives that are very good. You want a very good hammock or tent, a very good axe or saw. You're tired of buying the stuff that gets by because we're strong and we can push through. The older we get, the sharper the saw we get. The older we get, the sharper the knife we get. It cuts along. So yeah, we'll go after that show, man. The 10C show. And actually, I've been working on the 10Cs with my brother in leather. And there's your good one coming up. Let me see. Yeah, William, I broke my Leatherman and fixed it for free. They did too. Customer service was fine, but it's probably around here in one of these drawers. But I snapped the handle. I sent it back to them, no problem. No questions asked. Never had no problem with that. I can't say nothing bad about the oven and stuff, except I broke it. Poor man clamps wire is great. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Uh, Zachary Fowler took a great 10 tools on their loan, season 3. Yes, I've talked to Zachary Fowler personally. I know him. He's a big trapper, believe it or not. And I was actually shocked on how many traps he did that they did not put on there. Now, he wasn't successful, and there's a bunch of little hogs out there. And that would have been a challenge for me because I raised hogs. And I think hogs are probably one of the hardest things in trap, guys. They got a nose on them. They're skittish. They see, they hear, and they just, at a blink of an eye, they're gone. And he struggled with that. He told me some of his traps he made. I was like, wow, man, he put hours and hours and hours working these traps. And he said, I could hear the hogs going by. I could hear them squealing and running through the woods. Could never catch one. So you think you're good, put your test. But I talked to him about his gear. That guy, he knows his stuff. I ain't kidding you. So it was the 10 C's. If you guys have been paying attention to Blackie's channel, he's starting a series about Dave Canterbury's 10 C's. And it's interesting how that, Blackie brought it, down. He just put one up on the sail needle. Is the sail needle valuable enough to carry with you? We try to put a balancing act, but if you're trying to sew a piece of canvas that you ripped, that needle's almost invaluable. I don't know. In my days of buckskinning, I used to break bones and make needles. Take a flint and drill it. You know how much time that is to acquire that bone. You can fire harden that bone, but you drill a hole first with a piece of flint. You're talking hours and hours and hours to do that. And you can snap that hole, you can break it. So it's a lot easier to carry a daggone sail needle. Most of the time I forget that they're on me somewhere or in my pack. Open mind. Also add one luxury item. Well, you're right. The luxury item, that's a tough one, man. I want to answer that now because I'm broke up. I got a lot of steel in my back, 2 hips in there. The one luxury item I think I'd want is a stinking chair. Sitting on the ground, sitting on logs. Yeah, you can make you a chair, but if I was on the alone show, what are you taking? I'm taking my chair. It sounds funny, but you can fish a lot longer sitting up against the lake, sitting down comfortable, than sitting on a little rock. But I don't know. That seems kind of far fetched, but when you get older like that, you want a little bit of comfort, man. Oh, man, I agree. I know it sounds ordinary, man, but out of the park, for survival gear. But man, a chair with my bow, I could sit here and hunt all day. It's kind of funny, man. That's when my head was a small hammock. A luxury item would be the hammock. About maybe three years ago now, we was down there at Blackie's event or somewhere, man. I've been to so many events, I can't remember if it was in Mississippi or what. And William Collins was running the hammock. Blackie was running the hammock. My buddy up here, CJ, he's a big hammock guy. He's a through hiker, one of them guys, we call them weight wings. He was getting me in the hammocks, and I was scared to death of falling because of my back. And I said, man, they actually, Blackie and William and Mike Denny lowered me in my first hammock. They could see the panic on my eyes. I was afraid I was going to slip, afraid I was going to get hurt again. Once I got in there, because I've got 12 screws and 2 titanium rods in my back. It's very hard to get comfortable in the bed. You're flopping all night long, it's hard to sleep. And now I'm a hammock fan. If I could have one in this house, I would have it in this house. That's how good I sleep at. The pressure's off my shoulders. I can lay on my back. The hammock that's it. If you got back issues, get a hammock. I would like to get with one and make me a hammock chair, something, you know. Blackie's running the ultralight hammock, and I actually fell asleep in it down at Blackie's. And it's still 11 foot, but I would like to go down to like 4 foot and just give me a chair. I can't look up squirrel hunt. Squirrel season's on. I'll be back Monday. Unloading my stuff. I got to go talk to my buddy, make sure I got permission to hunt squirrels in there, get a side by side. And I have to actually almost lay down on the ground to squirrel hunt because my neck would go up. And so I could see myself in that hammock chair, you know, something to think about. Because when we were younger, man, we didn't think nothing about sitting in the dirt, sitting on a log, eating lunch, whatever, get up and go. The older you get, it's all about comfort, man. It really is. Oh man, that's a lot of metal for humans. Yeah, I told my wife, I says, at least I'm worth something now. And after she cremates me, she can use a daggone sieve and get all the titanium, the ceramic, and the stainless out and take me to the scrap yard. I'll be worth something. Yeah, I wasn't, when the accident tore my neck up so bad, I got to work on that. My left foot's got trouble. And the one has a 9 foot, so my tarp will cover it. Yeah. Yeah, the 9 foot was, I know they got 11s. I never seen the 9. I've got 11 foot standard. I've got 11 double, and then I've got the 12 double, and I got a new one coming. So just keep that under your hat. It's another 12, but that's a secret. That's actually coming straight from it's not even on the market yet, so that's good. I know Blackie's got one, so I'm letting the count on back a little bit. So it's you lost me, huh? So she can make a knife out of it. Yeah, but I mean, a small hammock, a chair would be great because it's not practical to carry a folding chair out in the woods everywhere you go deer hunting. But if you had a nice little chair, it doesn't have to have so much back. I was experimenting down at the creek a week ago, and because my back was killing me, you know, I just set up my blue hammock. It's just bare bones. There's not a net on it or nothing. Just sit there and relax. And I could sit straddling the hammock and leaning back and looking up at the squirrels. Just enough to get that lower, you know, all the back pressure off of it. Great thing. There's Mike Simmons. I ain't heard him for a while. We can magnetize Dan Lane. Man, Mike, I'm gonna get on you, brother. That's messed up. Man, I'm so fat, I'll be spinning out there. Somebody try to sink me, man. Oh, knocked out the metal on my back. There you go, Harm. Man, don't tell her that. That thing might be worth a fortune. She'll get a whole $20 out of it. Oh man, that's funny. I didn't catch y'all. Uh, you know, we've talked about that open mine having a gathering around this area. Man, I'm going to Central Hall Bushcraft. They're an hour and 15 minutes from here. This is going to be my 4th year going. It's going to be a great time there. I don't, to set up an event at one place would be a lot of work. I'd rather go to them, and you guys just need to go to them. That's they call it Central Hall for a reason. We get a lot of people there. I think last year we were 100 plus. I think it was a lot more than 100. Me and Randy went there the first year. Probably 25 people, 22 people showed up. Me and Randy went there just to get away, did some camping, didn't have no classes, and it was a good time. It's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger every year. So I encourage you, open mind. I don't know where you're at, but man, it's happening next month. I've got that to go to. I didn't have this one scheduled, this Midwest Woodcraft. I've got Central Hall Bushcraft, and then I got Field of Fire down in Georgia in November. So that's where I'll be at, guys. If you want to come by, if you do show up at these events, man, come say hi to me, man. You know, we're having a good time. I usually teach some form of basic trapping to get you guys started in that. You know, my classes, I'm actually be shooting videos this fall for paid videos. This is when I get extreme. This is when I show you everything that I do. This also shows you how to get by in off-grid situations. You know, not doing everything so legal. You know what I'm saying? This is when it hits the fan. But that's my revenue source, guys. I'm going to put that on PDF on my on my website. You guys can purchase that, watch its leaders. But it's not. It's probably going to be 24 hours of video. You know, you can't put them on YouTube. I mean, I could break them up, but that's going to be a whole major class. That's when you guys want to get real serious about trapping. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. We're working on that. I've been working with my brother, learning about TikTok and getting the word out. But cameras, I mean, my cameras are sitting right here. I just got a lot going on trying to learn this. That's old dog trying to learn cameras now. I got an M50 camera sitting here. I've got a GoPro sitting here ready, charged up, ready to go. So it's going to be a good time. I'm going to shoot some videos. You guys will get to see some good stuff out there. But yeah, I encourage you to find out where we're going. I know Mike Simmons will be up here at Central High. I know Trapper Dan, he ain't going to make it this year, so that's why I'm going out there to see him. But, there's testimony up there, man, on Central High. You can get here, man. It's a good time. Frontier Survival. Hey, man, how you doing? So, I had a trapping class here. I just don't have a facility in the land to do that. We had one out at Campcraft Outdoors. That might rematerialize. I don't know yet. They're my 3-day trapping classes, guys. It's a lot of work. I do have a new side-by-side. That's why I purchased it, to get me up and down the hills better. And, you guys can walk, but when you see how I really do it, you'll understand. And I'm a big fan that everybody knows the C's, right? Not the C's, the threes. 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, and 30 days without food. And I think there's one more in there somewhere. But I don't believe in the 30 days without food. I know the human body can do that. Most of us are overweight. We got plenty of storage. We'll be fine. But that weight is going to be lethargic, man. You're going to be slow. Watch the alone show. The guys are there the first 3, 4, 5 days, 7 days, are going strong like that. And then all of a sudden they hit this wall because they're not putting enough nourishment in their body. That's where trappers outshine hunters and fishers. I hate to say that, but because my traps can hunt 24 hours a day. If you try to take a bow out in the woods or even a firearm out in the woods, it's going to get dark, especially in the wintertime. We don't have the daylight. So, it's very hard unless you have a big camera power to hunt, at night or night vision or something like that. I'm talking survival situations. But where my traps and my understanding of game will be working for me 24/7 unless weather permitting, snow, your traps can freeze in and they can get covered in snow. That's why I'm a snaring fool, because snares like working in snow. So I'm just telling you, open mind. I gave 5 pounds of Randy's cooking at Blackie's. He can cook. I'm in Daytona, Florida. Yeah, he can cook, man. There ain't no doubt there. Yeah, you're down south, man. Daytona. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I said, when I talked to some of these guys, been on the Lone Show, I've talked to a lot of them. They asked me questions on, how they could have got game better. When you look at the show, watching it on TV, I can just beat them up left and right. We all can. Man, I'd be doing this if I was there. The thing is, on the show, is they've already done it. They don't show you they've done it. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to see the whole time they're there. You got an hour show and 15 minutes of each contestant, maybe. So it's hard to critique them or beat them up. When I talked to Zachary Fowler, I couldn't believe the traps. We were at the Blade Show, dude, down in the pit with napkins and pencils and drawing stuff out. And what he did on the show, and I said, man, if you'd have just done that, it'd have been better. Am I perfect? No. I learn every time I try. But you have to have a very open mind to try. So it was interesting that, when you talk to them guys, that they probably did it. We just didn't get to see it. And the trapping to me is, I started as a kid. It's just a way of life. No big deal. I get into survival, the so-called bushcraft or survival world. I start going to these events, and I was like, these guys can knock out bow drill fires, man. These guys are good. They can shelter up. They can do everything. My thoughts was it was backwards. I do have dyslexia, but it's everything was backwards because we went to hunting. We went deer hunting camp, and sheltering camp was secondary. The bushcraft world to me seems like they make it primary. We were there to put the deer up, the rabbit up. We went to fishing all night to put a bunch of catfish for the winter time. We suffered with the lack of luxury where we could haul more fish or haul more game. We didn't have the money, for a real nice list, tents and hammocks, and didn't have hammocks lucky. We probably did, but it wasn't part of it. I remember our big luxury item was a truck tarp cut in half. You take a 48-foot trailer, cut the tarp in half, and I want to see you carry that thing in the woods. It took two of us taking turns, three of us to carry that thing. It got soaking wet. We would put it up, and it would stay there until it rotted enough. And then we wanted to carry it back out. But that's where we camped out. We had, I didn't grow up with any money. I had to earn my money. Trapping was part of earning my money. My dad has been on the show. We talked about him trapping in the 50s. He had to earn his money. So I stayed looking on 40-hour crash courses to get a license up there in Vermont. Yeah, Vermont, Maine, them guys got like open season on beaver in Maine. I'd be having a ball, man. I just watched a really good little special on YouTube about the beaver and the Native Americans. And the Native Americans used to have sayings about with the beaver, they'd never go hungry. They would never go hungry because the beaver was populated. It populates itself very fast in an area. It can be overrun and the beaver will move out. But the beaver's meat has got a ton of fat, ton of calories, very good meat for you. And it's under the rodent family, and everybody kind of turns their nose at it. It's like a big floating rat. So, to me, it's like Christmas morning. I went down to James Bender at Waypoint Survival, and he said, man, come on down, man. I'll take care of you. We'll do everything. Let's do some trapping down here. I got a beaver I got to get rid of. I set up 2 snares. That beaver come up and visited me in the hammock. I tracked him all the way back down, showed James. He said, that, because I understand the behavior of the beaver, he goes back, and James was walking in front of me, and I'm not kidding, 2 feet off the ground when he seen that beaver. We got one, man. I said, told you it's like Christmas morning. He said, yeah. And that's a 40-pound beaver. We weighed it out. I mean, he was tickled to death to get that beaver. And that's 40-pound weight, probably realistically, let's say 12 or 18 pounds of meat, realistic. He ate the tail. You can look at this video called Waypoint Survival, look it up. We had long talks about survival stuff down there. Great time. I got down there in the morning, spent the night, come back that afternoon. I only had a window of time to do that. So he had to skin it, or we skin it together. He put the pelt up, he put the meat up, and he ate the tail that night. It was good. He got to see what I did, and he says, I didn't go to bed till midnight, 1 o'clock, and I don't know how you'd skin that many beavers in a day. I said, trapping's the easy part. Putting the meat up, putting the fur up is where you're earning the money at. And it's an all day. And I used to love to work like that, guys. But trapping, you guys, I highly encourage you guys to get into the trapping world. And you don't have to go big, man. You don't have to buy 40 traps and guns and all this stuff. I don't know where you guys are at, but if you have muskrats, that's where I suggest you go. Read your laws. They're easy to skin. I can take my open end, which is actually really big for a muskrat, and these are my skinning tools for muskrat. That's how easy they skin. Once you make your first cut, open them up, pull, man, pull. You need a big fleshing beam? Nope. Well, Dan, I got to put these furs up and dry. You know the signs, the political signs, get them after the election. You know the ones with the holes in them, the plastic. You can cut that out as the shape as a beaver. You can put them pelts on that. That didn't cost you nothing. I also use willow branches. I use mulberry branches. I'll have a video up on that short. Make mulberry or stretchers, but you got to flesh the hide to get, it's called a saddle. You leave the saddle on. But number one fleshing tool for muskrat, kitchen spoon. That's where to start, guys. Then take the muskrat, gut the muskrat. Everything wants to eat a muskrat. Everything wants to eat a muskrat. But I encourage you to remove the intestines out of them, rinse them out good, and bake them. You're going to be surprised. It's called swamp rat. My dad's look at the Masonic Lodge has a swamp rattle festival in Northeast Ohio every year. They're having a really tough time getting muskrats because nobody's trapping them. So it's a very good meat, very delicate meat. And then you eat your fill of them, put some in the freezer. Especially like me, I try to trap 100 a year, which is tough. They're easy to trap. It's just the population ain't there like they used to be. But then you take what's left and you quarter them out. Best coyote bait, best mink bait you'll ever see. Anything will eat a mink. They all want to eat that mink. It's that good. So that's where you start, guys. And I encourage you to get in the books, get on YouTube. Man, I don't focus on the sets. The set is what we do to put the trap in the ground. I'll teach you a little bit about that, but that's not important. What I teach you on the other side of it is very important. But you can do all this with 6 traps now. You don't even need to do that. I tell everybody start with 2 or 3 because you got to skin what you get hold of. You know what I'm saying? So and you're a beginner. So if you go out and get 6 muskrats, you're like, man, this is a lot of work. Or you get your 4 coyotes, it sucks. Coyote skinning sucks, especially by hand. I got machines for that. So I encourage you, if you're going out coyote, set a couple of traps. Catch you 1 coyote, skin him out, see how you like it. Put him up. Go put him fur up. So you got any questions on that? I mean, I know I kind of rambled on into the trapping world, but that's what I do. But it's got to be my philosophy. We're talking 10 C's and the knives and stuff like that. How valuable is snare cake? How valuable is your steel trap? On a loan, they won't let me take my steel traps. It's got to be all printable. If they put me up there with steel traps, I ain't gonna lose my weight. That's a bold statement. You let me take my snares and take my steels? No, I got a problem. Can you trap fish with a steel trap? Trap birds? Trap a sea lion? No problem. That's a bold statement. Sounds like I'm bragging, but 45 years doing this, yeah, I think I can handle it. I think I'd like to. I don't think my body will let me. So you'll see some videos on it this year. It's a good time though. I know I went off on a little tangent on the trapping. Where was we at? I got lost, but it's kind of lost. Give me some questions, guys. What else luxury items would you guys want? I mean, we talked a hammock and chair. It sounds like it's funny, but to me, that's a very comfortable thing. Have I ever had a fight with another predator over when you're trapping it? No. Why I mean that? Because if I have a special critter in a trap, they'll try to eat it. If the animal's dispatched or not dispatched, the animal's going to try to be really cool and quiet, especially if it's not a nocturnal animal. If another animal's getting in a fight with him, yeah, he doesn't have the advantage because he's hooked in the trap. Have I had things that I dispatched in the trap and bit on and try to drag off? Yes. But when you walk up on an animal that's trapped, dead or alive, and there's say there's a raccoon in there, and a coyote wants that coon. If he sees me, that coyote is gone, and he better be because that's on my trapping list, and that's why I carry a 22 rifle, not a pistol, because it gives me an opportunity. That means a lot of times I have a coyote in a trap, and we call them song dogs for a reason. And if it's a female, before you go up on that trap, stop, get in the tree line, look around. That male might be hovering around her. So I can take him with a 22 and her out of the trap. Stuff to see about most animals, especially small game, do not want nothing to do with it. They are gone. So keep that in mind. I know we see a lot of stuff on bears and attacks, and Wolverine's going to get you. There's a guy trapped up north. He sees a wolverine, it's gone. They don't want to stand by him. He knows he's human, and they trap wolverine up there, and they understand it. Luxury item. God's cheerleader. Man, this is a family channel I have going. We could go off of that one. Yeah. How about a tent? Why not, Wade? Why not a tent? Would that be one of your luxury items? Man, keeps the mosquitoes off of you, rain off of you, comfort, no critters. Me personally, I hate tents because they ain't got enough windows in them. I like looking at it. I like waking up in the morning and looking across the lake. I love my hammock. If you guys follow me on Facebook, a lot of my pictures is the first thing I wake up in the morning. I move my bug net and take a picture because it's great to see it fall on the lake. I always hated tents for the sheer fact of you can't look out. When you're laying on the ground or on a cot, the wind is still above you, and that drives me nuts. I would rather be like to roll over and look out. Not that I'm scared. I just like to see, especially in the morning when the sun's out. So I don't have a problem with tent. When I was buckskinning, we used a baker's tent. It's open on one side. I could just lay on the ground and watch it snow. It's just me. It's personal preference. I have tents. I own tents. The first couple of gatherings I went to was in a Walmart teepee tent. Great little tent for money. It was like $49. But I had to find something because I couldn't bend down. My wife had to take care of me. Randy had to take care of me. Trinity had to take care of me, getting me in and out of the tent. I was in a body cast from here to here. My wife had to lay me down. I had to have a tent that I could walk in, zip it all up and walk in. I couldn't hardly bend down. So yeah, I've been in tents, and I still own that tent. It's a good little teepee tent. Tents are for yuppies. I love it. Well, it's like this, guys. The older we get, the more broke we get, the overweight we get bad knees. I'm finding out now that it's more about the comfort, sitting around a fire with a bunch of good guys. If you're comfortable, it's a good time. If you're miserable. So I encourage you, man. A lot of these events I go to, car camping, man. I run heavy, more gear. I'm taking a 3x2 table with me for I can set up, just more luxury. I never took a table in the woods camping. Why? But I had trouble getting up and down off the ground. So, yeah, I know tents are for yuppies. I think that's funny. But, hey, man, if you need a tent, run it. We went touring on motorcycles. We did a lot of tent camping. You can't put too much on a motorcycle. So we had a tent that we run on the back of the motorcycle. So it was, I hated that tent because the windows was that stinking high. We was laying on the ground, couldn't carry a cot, I would use one, yeah. TW Bushcraft, hey brother, missed out a lot. You got to set your watch, TW. I know you're on the other side of the ball, man, but Discipline. It takes discipline. You don't want to miss this show because you don't know where we go. I don't know where we go. I go from here to there and over here, man. Just kidding. Open mind. Just got to stand up. You're right, brother. Stand up your tent, man. You've got to. You got to. I know we love watching this stuff. We love watching bushcraft stuff. We love all that stuff, but you've got to run with what you run. And I don't care if you're running a $20 more knife, if you're proficient with it, you're safe with it, you know how to get down everything, then run the stinking $20 knife. I stand up next to you, man, I like to have $300 knife. Why when you're that good with the more knife? And you know what? It's easy to throw another more in your pack if that one fails. I have a video where we did a live stream on this. This was a good thing. Alarm set. There you go, bro. This knife runs, I haven't looked at the books yet. They were about 280, I think. Let's just say 300. That's one of the best survival knives I know of. But if I dropped it in a lake, what's my backup? It's a backup, dude. Well, I got a more in my pack. I don't see. I'm talking. That's pretty cool. Well, I'm proficient with this knife, and now I'm going to switch over to more, and that's backing this knife up. In theory, you need two of these. In theory, you do because you know this knife inside and out. Okay, but that's pricey to throw one of these in your pack for a backup because you was next to this bank, slicing a fish and down through the rocks and down in the lake it goes. I don't think you're going to break it. I think you're going to lose it. 4 foot of snow, 3 foot of snow, you're carving, it drops straight down. Morris Kohansky put a big orange cord on it. You could hit the cord when you're snowing. If you drop this in the snow and it goes down, we don't know how it went in. It could be went in like that. You're going to take your glove and start knocking snow. No. You're going to take a stick and start flying this. Many knives have been lost that way. So in theory, in practicality, now I've got $600 plus the custom sheaths in this. So now you're talking $1,000 in 2 knives. So is it practical to get really good with a more or a condor or whatever you run? He likes his lot as WC Classic. It's a good knife, man. I actually got the original prototype. TW got three SKs. Love them, man. But you kind of see my philosophy because if this is your everyday bushcraft using knife and your backup knife's going to be a more, that messes me up, guys. You know, but I can see why because of the cost of knives. But you get proficient with this, I should have a backup on this. I need to clean this up. So, you know, it's just my philosophy. It's just all conversation piece. But I do believe in that. You know, if you're used to double-headed broadaxe and you swung that thing chopping wood at the house and stuff, why wouldn't I take that with me? I understand that tool. I know the weight of that tool. I know what to do. But now I'm going to get my Grand Brooks with a short handle. That's a good way to get hurt. You're used to that big long handle chopping. You've had it with your dad's. Now you got a brand new short handle bushcraft knife or axe, and that's going to mess with it. You know, that's kind of my philosophy, man. When we remember we go back to Morris Kohansky saying, the more you know, the less you carry. And then William Collins is like, the better you carry. And I think that's got a lot of fact to it because once you find a good quality axe and you get used to it, and that's why our ancestors had the same axe forever because they were good at it. They got good with that tool. And if you don't have a WCSK and I was in an event, I said, here, need a tri-stick, go after it. You would be aggravated if it's not. Because I put you on the spot, it's right there. Could you do it? Yeah, I know you can do it. But it's not going to be as good as the knife you're carrying because you're used to it. Carry this long enough, what I tell you about the kukri. I've had to leave these knives at home. Not even in the truck, not even in my bag. Because it's too easy to be frustrated. I won't do that. And force myself to use a kukri. So it's different. Let's see. Anything goes. $1,000 would get me a box of 223 for that. One little box. Yeah. But you understand. Well, okay, anything goes. Got a box of 223. You got 500 rounds of AR-15. Does your guns override the knife? There's your question. What's more important, the knife or the gun? There's your conversation topic. In reality, they both go hand in hand, but I'm not asking that question. In your mind, what's more important? Your favorite gun with your ammo, or the knife? Let me see them comments. That's what I want to see. It's because that goes back to the knife or the axe, which is more important. Ooh, now the axe with a saw. I mean, I love watching Survival Rush. You guys, if you ain't seen him, watch him. He's a saw nut. I mean, he learned too. He's got plenty of axes. He knows how to run an axe. But he talks so much highly about the saw in his area. It's way more work than that. TW, he says knife every time. I'm not trying to dog guns here, guys. I'm not trying to dog your opinion. But I agree with TW on the knife. It's more important than the firearm. If I'm in northern Alaska with big game country and grizzly bears and musk ox and moose and stuff, I do not want to be without my gun. Trust me. But I can do a lot with this. I can build the bear trap with this to take the bear. I'd rather be hand in hand with all my stuff, But this is just talking heads. There's nothing wrong. There you go. Anything goes. I can process firewood with an AR-15, and I'll take more than one box of ammo. Knife would be preferred. I just want one of your skinning knives, but just for cutting my steaks, laugh out loud. Dude, if you're going to cut steaks with this knife, you need to skin something, man. Once you skin a calf, then you know how good the steaks taste. I tell you what, that's something. If you guys want to try a good experiment, I love it. Go down to your local butcher shop. Get you a steak off a cow that hasn't been frozen. Take it home and cook it. You're really like, man, I've been messing up. But, get you a skinning knife, dude. I've got them in stock. They don't last long. I just got another order now. But there it is. Yeah, I'm going to sell them. And I know it's when that knife come out, I was kind of scared because everybody's like, what did you do, Dan? That ain't no knife, man. 16th inch blade, little flexible. That ain't no good. Once you look at the history of old timers, look at their knives. So, look, it's our own knife. It's a push knife. See that? Has a little trouble getting started. I've had people say, man, I can't get under skin. It's because we're so used to go this way with the knife. I want to get my fingers and stuff off here. I got to be careful. I'm trying to watch the camera do this. Now, once I get it up, you can see that hump. See that big angle on that hump? That's because I want to get it off. Up, then push. So I've had some comments on this, man, it's hard to get it to start the skin. It's because your hand, it's awkward. I'm trying to reforce you to get your hand with the knife to do it. Because we're so used to flat points on the knife, we want to ride our hand out here. And when we get our hand too low, if you guys ever skin anything or watch the guy skin, it does this. It does about 2 or 3 inches at a time. I'm trying to stay in there and zip it up. The guys who use this said I should have named it the zipper because of how good it stays in. It still pops out because meat's curved, legs are curved, nothing's straight. But you understand my point to it. This thing only weighs like 2.5 ounces. Do I want to bushcraft this knife? I do not want to baton this knife. Could I? Sticks up bigger? Yeah, I could. I can do anything. Do I want to? No. This would be my backup. I said, even When you order this knife, you get a piece of kydex with it. It's not a sheath, guys. It's a mailing compartment. That way, keep this thing in the bag, protect it. It's designed to be put in your pack. Use this knife for all your woods chores or whatever knife you want. But this was your skinning knife. So, who's the person behind you? It's probably my wife. She's bouncing around here. She just got back. She had to go to the store for me. I need my apples and stuff for this event. If he's bringing a cheerleader, I want Vern for the luxury item. Oh man, here we go, Pam. I wanted to show you was eating dinner. Did you see it? My wife stuck it down in the ditch, boys. It was cutting plastic tie. I got to do some work. Left it in the back of the buggy. I know Pam's head's going, oh my God, I've got to get my foots out. I'm heading to Ohio. That's funny, man. Yeah, but I mean, that's where I'm at on the knives, the skinning knives. If you notice, there's a design, there's a design, there's a design, there's a design. What I like to say is snap on. Do they take one wrench to work on your car? No, there's a whole bunch of wrenches and they're all different sizes. That's what my philosophy behind knives is. I was a dealer mechanic for 21 years. I've got plenty of tools out there, huge toolbox. When you're using a knife and skinning and processing animals, everybody looks for a knife to help the job become easier. A mechanic's the same way. If I could buy a little bit longer wrench or a short wrench, it's the same size, maybe that wrench is bent a little bit. Maybe we took a torch and bent it to do the job. I've ground more knives in my life trying to make the job better. This is my design knife. I'm pretty proud of it. It only took me 40 years to get it done because it took 40 years of experience behind this knife. This knife right here, if you combine 3 woodsmen's time and effort, we're probably talking over 100 years of experience to come up with this knife. So, a good car mechanic or a truck mechanic, he's got this big old toolbox, but he understands the truck or the vehicle he's working on. And he should know the insides out on everything. The tools are secondary. Now, what I'm teaching you right now is the same as in trapping and in hunting. The skill of the hunter, a very, very good hunter can take a junk gun and get the job done. Where an inexperienced hunter can have the top line, best scopes, everything, and not succeed. These are tools for the job. That's why there's so many different kinds of for so many different jobs. Do I want to process my meat with this and cut up my steaks with it? No. Got a different knife. Ain't that funny? And that's where I look at it, guys. That's where I see this. I see these as tools, and we have to look as it that way, as hone your skills as a bushcrafter, then bring up the quality of tools. Hone yourself as a good hunter, then you'll invest in the higher dollar rifles and guns and stuff, bows, whatever. Same with trapping. If we understand what we're trapping, we know what traps to buy for that. So that's just the way I've always loved my life, guys. It was secondary. I've got a Colin Skidder prototype. It's awesome on feral hogs. He makes a great knife, guys. I can't say nothing bad about knives. I've done testing for 2 years with him. Tested a ton of steel. You guys didn't get to see all the video conferences we had, and I've never been asked to take these knives. I ain't gonna tell you what steel they are, and start cutting them in tubes. Cut them till they're dull, and then count how many times it took to sharpen it. Every strip, 1, 2, 3, 4, till it got razor sharp. And that's when we were doing a ton of testing, heat treating. I couldn't walk I couldn't get around, but I could sit at the kitchen table and cut up onion tips. And I'd call William. We'd have voice conference. Hey man, that's what you guys don't see behind the WC knives. You don't see that between the Lutz knives. I don't have exotic steel till 95. There was reasons behind this because people freak out about curves, how to sharpen it. It's a softer steel. You're going to have to learn. I'm going to force you to learn to sharpen this knife. Okay, it's not going to last as the super steels we want, but it's going to be razor blade stinking sharp. It's easy to learn how to sharpen it. It's lightweight, and it's an $80 knife, guys, versus $300. So that's what my thinking was around this, trying to get you to force your hand in the right position. If you notice this, with your finger up on the tip, I use that big hump to stop my hand, and we all know where the tip of our finger is. Okay, we all know that. It's right in our brain, right? This, anytime the longer the knife, if I try to skin like that, I lose control. Any length, I start losing control. Can do it. So William, we choke up on. Look at it, that big monster knife. But this knife's heavy. I've got really large hands. This knife is for everything. I'm trying to compare apples and oranges here. This was a specific tool design, and this was a specific tool design. And we're trying to mingle them together, which is not right. Like I said, we can do it. We just don't. You know what I'm saying? There's tools for the job. Make it better. One crescent wrench and I'm a pro. Well, what am I doing here, man? All I needed was a crescent wrench, man. Oh, that's messed up, man. I'm sorry, man. My brother's working on weather and texting me. He knows I'm on the show. Dan, I've never skinned an animal. Is it hard? It's not hard. There's some point in there. Mainly, it's just understanding the cuts. It's one thing to skin the animal if you're not going to use the fur. It makes it a lot easier to skin. When you're skinning for money, we call them money cuts. But people say it's gross. People says, man, it smells. Oh man, it's hard. It's going to have hair all over it. It's not that bad. The first 100 you do, you get really good at it. I've wasted hides by pulling too hard, too much knife work, cut them, sliced them, didn't want to, made bad cuts on them. But the first one you're going to do is awkward. It's going to be awkward. It's going to feel gross. You're like, man, I just never done this. To me, it's like the movie Jeremiah Johnson when he shot that elk. He says, you really like that hunting, don't you? He goes, yeah. He goes, well, the Indians says it's natural. Well, to me, it comes natural. It's in the good book about setting your tears, your snares. It's also pick up your bow and hunt for venison. To me, it's natural for us to do that. So once you get over that hump and you understand if you're doing the fur, you want to take your time. A lot of it's time. But there's plenty of videos out to do that. You get around me at an event, look me up, I'll go over it with you. It's not as bad as you think. It's just getting over some edges. We were skinning some rabbits the other day. I won't get into detail about that. I was watching the guy do this. Going to skin a rabbit. You know what this is from? Never doing it. Once we did it, he did a great job on it. I walked him through it. He's like, it wasn't that bad. You do a lot more pulling than you do cut. Well, that's my case. So don't overthink it. It's just like if you picture taking your sock off foot. Remember how we used to roll our socks down and the socks turns inside out? That's what you're doing when you travel. So I hope that answers your question, man. I'm trying to walk you through that without don't get fearful of it. It's in your DNA to do this. Believe it or not, your ancestors somewhere down the line did all this. Same with your bushcraft. For my collection, I take my WC butcher and a Man, my glasses are Jacka Puka in Finland. I know that Puka. I actually have one. Thing's built like a tank. That is a big knife, man. I like it now. Team Oranges. Williams, thanks. So that's what I mean. I mean, our ancestors did all this, and we've lost the link. And I hate to say it. When I started in the Bushcraft world, I come out of buckskinning. I was getting tired of being pigeonholed into certain years. There's plenty of trash laying around that we could use. I seen the videos. I said, man, I can do all this. And we're making stuff out of trash and getting by with stuff. Uh, I was shocked at all the big namers and bushcrafters on YouTube, and then almost trappers. So, what do you say? I said, almost trappers. And it just kind of blew my mind. And here I'm sitting there thinking, man, can I handle these bushcraft guys? And yet I'm walking in with 40 years plus of experience. And I thought everybody did this. I grew up doing this. All my friends grew up doing this. They haven't done it in 25, 30 years. The last good push was 1980 was the last big run on fur. Coons for $45 to $55 for a large coon. 1980 prices. So that would probably be somewhere probably about $100 and some a coon. If I put $100 and some coons on the pelt today, everybody and their brother would be out trapping coons because that's kind of money. Yeah, days are getting away from us, man. Gotta go. See you, TW. I'll see you next week, man. If you went in the woods with just an axe and a canteen, how long it would take to send me an email? Number one, it's going to take me forever because I hate these computers and stuff. I'd have to call my brother how to figure it out. I mean, if you could do an email through a smoke signal, we'd probably get by. But it's if you guys see me struggle on computers and stuff, and my brother's hung up on me because I was cussing him so bad because I hate these things, and he's really good at the electronic stuff, and I'm not. But I can smoke him in the woods. Me and him's hunted side by side, and he gets mad at me when I hunt him. And he's actually 9 years younger than me, so he gets around pretty good. You know, I talk about this a lot, you know, because of the Alone Show and the other shows, is there's so much trash out there. If you was allowed to utilize the trash, how good your shelter would be. We're going to have trash on this planet. If man ceased to exist tomorrow, there will be thousands of years of trash. And then there's pits of trash that we'd be digging in to look and find more trash. So, you know, I stole that line from Joe Rogan. That's a pretty good one, though, man. Send me an email. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why I like to be. I like to experiment a lot. My forte is flint and steel because of coming out of buckskin. I'm pretty proud of my flint and steel. I think I've got it down pretty good and understanding that. And guys, believe it or not, there's guys on this channel right now, Mike Simmons. I go to Alabama to Tennessee for tulip poplar. I don't go there, but I'm going on event. These guys bring it to me. Bags of tulip poplar, cattail fluff. I'm a tinder junkie, guys. I have bags of tinder. My old lady got tired of them sitting in the house. And why you got to bring it home? She'd rather watch my clothes, especially in the fall, because I'm not walking around gathering tinder and putting them in my pockets. So when she goes to wash my clothes, she goes, why you got all this crap in here? So I'm pretty proud of my flint and steel. I really enjoy the flint and steel. I can't do a bow drill. 2 years ago, I pulled off down Blackie with a pump drill with my back and everything. That's a friction fire. I'm pretty proud of that. I actually got my first hand drill with, I just lost her name. She passed away at Rabbit Stick. Tracy Uh, Trish Williams. God, come on, man, I know it. Anyhow, she really helped me with our hand drill. I love the friction pop. I love her in the bushcraft world doing stuff and self-reliant stuff. Uh, I think that's why. But with me rolling into the trapping world, I do bring something to play. And if you listen to my classes, everybody here on this channel, every event, if you're worried about going to an event, I was scared to death in my first event. And that was actually the Pathfinder guy. Scared to death. I didn't know how these guys are good, man. They got YouTube channels. These guys are something. I'll preach it until I die. That I've never been. I used to race cars, race motorcycles. I fished for BASS. Uh, it was all competition. That's what I'm thinking I'm going into. Best bow drill guys or whatever. But I found out there wasn't one guy there. But if you had a question, wouldn't get on the dirt with. And I'm telling you that I've never seen. Usually, if you're struggling with something, you ain't gonna have one guy helping. You got 5 guys standing out helping, showing you, using their gear. I encourage you guys to go to these classes, to go to these events. Do not be afraid to go to these events. I was. I'm not lying to you guys. I was like, man, Pathfinder guy. I mean, I followed Dave Canterbury since he had his first YouTube up. I actually met Dave Canterbury right before he had a YouTube channel. He was actually working a gun service guy, selling some Bible gear. So that's where I met him at. And so it was, I was intimidated. Man, I'm just an old fat trapper. What am I going to bring to the table? Well, learn the law. Just want you guys to understand, and I know a lot of you guys out there, you've heard this before, but if I got any new viewers out there, I want you to listen and go to these events. I don't get paid to say that. It's the knowledge you're looking for. I'll be at Central Ohio. I have a 2-hour class Saturday afternoon. If you guys want to see a class, it's for beginners. I'm not bragging, but I think I give your money for one class, and I'm just one class. There's many classes down there. Trapper Dan's on there. He's been in my classes. He understands it. It's right now. I ain't seen John Frisbee. I think he's out of town. Look up Central Ohio Bushcraft on Facebook, and you'll find it. I don't have the link right now, and I can't get into it. But that's where I'll be next is Central Ohio. If you look up Bushcraft gatherings, and you'll get on these forums, and there's all kinds of them. I'm going out to Midwest Woodcraft now. It's another Facebook page. That's out in Illinois. I'm headed that way in the morning. So you've got to find there and try to find local marriage guys. I don't want you to drive to 14 states, but there's plenty of local. Blackie Thomas is having a non-scheduled gathering in Alabama, Geneva State Court. He's going camping. Got on Facebook, YouTube, guys, come on in. If you want to come in, I'll be there for the weekend. When you can catch Blackie like that, boy, you can peel that boy's brain for 2 days, and you're going to learn a ton. So, it's not an event. Why am I having trouble with my glasses? I should watch the video using the Skinner. I can see how it worked great with small game. I've done fair share of my squirrels, 1950s, 1095 K Skinner worked quite well. Know your tools. You ain't lying, Lewis. That's a good deal. I don't have any video skinning right now. I'll tell you what, guys. I'm looking at YouTube standards, and they don't mind the skinning as so bad as the gut. Okay, so I'm really watching that. I'm trying to get monetized. I'm really close to getting monetized. You guys are really helping me with that. That's why I went to YouTube on this platform on StreamYard. It creates time on my channel, and you have to have so much time to be monetized. I would like to make money on this. It's a lot of good information, but because I'm disabled, it helps me out. But you're right, Lewis. I mean, it's not a small game, believe it or not. This Lutz Skinner is for a big game too. I wouldn't hesitate doing a cow or hog with this little knife because it's a skinning knife. It's designed to skin, not to butcher. There's the difference. I have a new knife. Finally, we got everything lined up. The stars are starting to line up. It's the Lutz Flesher. It's going to be how to flesh the hides. how to skin with this knife. So look forward to that. I'll be working on that when I get back. That's going to be a pre-order. I've got the one prototype right here behind me, and you can't see it. Man, why I'm having trouble. Oh man, come on, man! Don't ask that. Anything goes. MMA match between Dave Canterbury and Black. Blackie's a little bitty guy, man. Blackie's got a heck of a story behind him, man. He was kind of born messed up. He's broke a lot of bones in his life. If you want to go not for strength and knowledge, because I know for a fact that Dave Canterbury follows Blackie Thomas, and there's a reason for that. So I don't want to get into that, but you want to talk about who's standing taller on books? It would be a good one to do off record. Trapper Dan, yep, Dan, go worth the money. Thanks, man. There's John Frisbee. There's the link. He put the link up there. Trapper Dan, for you have a one knife pick. If it was narrowed down to one knife, probably WCSK. Dan, I think you're right on that, man. I like I said, I put blood, sweat, and tears in that daggone knife, man. If I had one tool, and I know it's heavy enough to do stuff I shouldn't be doing with that, man. We had Michael Elliott. He built a whole daggone wall, 2x4 wall, drywall airing, and cut his way through this with this knife. Because I kept going back because of September 11th, and I always think of this guy. They interviewed him after September 11th. He was a window washer, and common old window washer, just doing his job on them towers. And when the plane hit, it covered him up, but he had his squeegee, and he was credited for saving a lot of lives because he took that squeegee and cut through a drywall and opened the door so they could get to the staircase. Now, oh man, in the bushcraft world, you can't use that squeegee for a daggone chopping axe. That's what I mean, using your tools outside your area. But he was credited for saving a life. A stupid metal squeegee. Would he got through it faster with this? Yeah. Would he got through it faster than an axe? Well, yeah. But that's improvising. If you just had this tool, you're going to have to do a lot of improvising. You guys ate up today, man. Old World Lines, you guys calm down, man. But anyhow, you got me cracking up. So that's why I said, the WCSK would have to be that knife. I haven't put my design on a bushcraft knife yet, and I've got where I want to be with mine. I got a couple good videos that's probably going to aggravate some people out there on my views. These are my opinions, my observations, and my experiences. So, I don't tend to agree with everybody. I get a lot of comments on handles. Well, these are so big I consider these front feet. In between here and here is about 9 inches. I think it's a little longer, 9 inches. So to give you an idea how a knife is. But you want to start arguments online, talk about handle size. Because there's shorter people, medium people, tall people, and abnormal people. Me. And so we're all different. So handle designs and handle thicknesses is a big deal. But with the Coke bottle shape on this thing, 3-position handle, we call it the Coke bottle or hourglass, this thing works. Great deal. I'll go on record. My money's on the legend Blackie Thomas. There you go. Pam shot up there. That's a good one. She's on the record. There's a reason, and I don't like getting in comparison. I fell into that trap with Ray Mears and all that dude, man. What's his daggone name? Bear Grylls. Them two got into it. And they were trying to make it sound like it's buddy buddy. But if you want to go after Bear Grylls or Ray Mears, Ray Mears is walking like a rag doll. In my opinion, Ray Mears is the best bushcrafter on the planet. I believe that. I think Morris Kohansky was right behind him, and Ray Mears trained under Morris Kohansky. I think what limited Morris Kohansky's skills, different from Ray Mears, and what made Ray Mears better than Morris Kohansky, is because Ray Mears went all over the world to do it, from Australia to Antarctica to Nova Scotia to Canada to the United States. Well, Morris Kohansky was the master of the Canada boreal forest. And if you wanted to put Ray Mears with Morris Kohansky in the boreal forest, I'd say Ray Mears would win in the boreal forest. But I think Ray Mears is more rounded. I think Bear Grylls, and these are my opinion, is a show off. I mean, I quit watching him when he jumped in the river in Alaska. He couldn't catch his salmon. He dove in, and he's got $1,000 outfit on. Dove in, soaking wet, grabs his fish, bites the belly of the fish, the guts go spewing out of his mouth. He's like, I got him. Well, this is how stupid you would be to get wet in that kind of temperature, to catch a fish that is locked in there, where I know how to get that fish out there without getting wet. It's that easy. So, my brother, thanks. My brother's on there. I forgot he's on tonight. I know he's been blowing up my phone. I'm going to have to kill him. So, you see, I mean, that's my philosophy, guys. That's my opinion. I don't know how you feel about these guys. But I've read Ray Mears' books. I've read Morris Kohansky's books. I've read Dave Canterbury's books. They're all a lot better. So it's, you follow me on this? I think I don't like getting in the comparison of people do that, because I truly believe in my heart we all bring something to the table. I believe the 14-year-old kid that's been watching YouTube comes to an event, and I've got 45 years of trapping, and he looks down and he goes, why don't you do it that way? And I've had that happen to me. And I just want to choke the kid. He goes, why didn't I see that? I've been doing this forever. So, they see stuff that we don't see, and we create habits, and we get locked in our habits. So it's it's time, guys. Daggone, you guys let me rattle on, man. Guys, you know what I gotta say, man? Let me get this done, boys. I gotta pack the car up too, man. Let me change the banner. You guys love to have it out there, man, but I gotta go back to this, man. Well, I forgot to mention Les Stroud. We can bring that up again. I forgot to put him in the link. I was just trying to use comparisons, man. You guys, everybody do me one favor before everybody starts bugging out on me, man. I need 5 minutes of your time to say a prayer for our first responders, man. Please do that. We've got a lot of people on Facebook and these groups that are having issues with what's going on out there. Give me 5 minutes of prayer, man, for our fellow people, our first responders. Remember, I tell you, my wife's on the front line in the pharmacy. I always say it every week. I don't like the cop behind me pulling me over. He's also the first one there, man, when you need help. So, guys, just be safe. Get your prayers in, man. I'll have a lot of video, hopefully. See you. I'll be downloading a lot of video, hopefully Monday. Have a good trip. I'll see you guys next Thursday, God willing. Thank you, and thank you. I'll see you guys later. Bye.